you can just begin to relax wherever you are now. Maybe noticing the rhythm of your breath and the surface beneath you. And perhaps you might quietly notice the subtle air around you, the gentle warmth of the coolness across your skin, the way the air seems to whirl softly, like those first faint ripples that move across a frozen lake, just as winter comes to a close and spring begins to show over the surface. And you know, it's fascinating how even the thickest ice can feel solid, yet under the surface change is already beginning. And you don't have to make anything happen right now. Just let your attention rest with the sensation that you're simply here, supported and safe. And just imagine for a moment a vast, shimmering, frozen lake, its surface glistening as you quietly breathe in and breathe out. Your breath is like the rays of a gentle sun. Each inhale like a new warmth slipping onto the shore. And you know, it just takes a subtle shift of sunlight for something to start softening. And as you find your internal rhythm, you may sense how you can notice yourself settling inwards, your thoughts gently slowing, like a lake's reflection, smoothing out as the wind comes to a stop. And you can become curious about the spaces between the thoughts, discovering how easy it is to drift in your own way towards the edges of comfort. The border between what's known and what's hidden deep inside. And you know, that frozen lake, so sturdy, so solid, sometimes seems to hold everything in its stillness. And yet, isn't it true that the most remarkable changes are not forced, but from a simple willingness to welcome a little change, a gentle crackle from the inside out? And many people believe that breaking the ice with others has to involve forcing bold words or perfect timing. And yet, sometimes you can discover that a simple, honest gesture, as subtle as the edge of sunlight, begins to loosen the surface. And you can imagine a tiny bird landing on that frozen lake, his tiny steps sending a shimmer through the ice, a sound, a ripple, and suddenly even the hardest surface can remember how to soften. And perhaps there are times you've waited, holding your words, watching the world's reflections play upon your own lake, feeling the wish to connect, yet paused by the quiet thickness of habit or uncertainty. And what if there's already some part of you that knows how to smile, how to send out that first ripple, how to let the warmth of your attention flow, not to melt entirely, but to invite change at a pace that's right for you. Each one of us in our own way carries an inner sun, a presence that naturally radiates a little warmth, even in those small moments. And even in the past, the tiniest gestures, a glance, a nod, an easy hello, may have been the first ripple. And then you notice how sometimes others responded without knowing quite why. And when you notice the possibilities behind a gentle thaw, you realize the ice never has to break harshly. It can gently give way, with no need to struggle or push or to strain. And just imagine following the subtle cracks in the ice beneath the surface. You can notice how your confidence emerges quietly, like warm water finding its way through the ice, shaping the thaw not with force, but with a steady flow. And maybe you even begin to sense that every time you open just a little, letting warmth move outwards, people around you respond with their own kind of gentle thaw, and a sense of mutual connection could begin to grow. And the stories you may have told yourself about the need to perform or to impress grow lighter, less rigid. And each time you remember your attention, curiosity and care are enough. And when you approach a new encounter as if it's just a different season, a new shimmer of sunlight on frozen water, you create opportunities for connection to just unfold naturally. And as you hold these images, you can discover how hesitations in the past, those uncertain moments, are just like the lake's winter. And every winter yields in its time to spring. And there's a reassurance in that. And when you next find yourself gazing across a social gathering, waiting at the edge of a conversation, and wondering how to step forwards, some part of you can gently allow yourself to send out that ripple, no matter how small. And with each ripple, the surface shifts, and what once seemed fixed or unapproachable can become the beginning of a new movement, new warmth, new peace. And now you can begin to feel the awareness of your body here in this space. Maybe a sensation in your hands, noticing your breathing growing a little deeper. The sounds of the room gradually come back into focus. With each comfortable breath you take, you can notice energy and calm returning. And as you open your eyes, you may feel lighter, more open, and quietly empowered, carrying a sense of ease here and now. And from now on, you'll find that there's space in your day where you can recognize opportunities to let warmth and simple gestures invite a welcoming response. And you'll find yourself naturally engaging with others more freely, as if the ice is already yielding to the spring in your world. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And each time you return to this session, you may notice a subtle but deepening shift in how comfortable it feels to connect with others. You can find growth by returning to this session again and again. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.